Okay, everybody. So you should have been asked to accept the recording there, so you can just push that button. So you're all very welcome along to this talk, and very, very important topic, gut health, or we can also call it the microbiome. It's become a real buzzword these days in the last, well, good few years, I suppose, doctors and medical systems are beginning to realize the importance of having proper good gut health, because so much is related to your gut and the workings of the bacteria and all of the things that go on down there in relation to every aspect of your life. Very importantly, in relation to your immunity, but now we even know in relation to your mental health. So many different things. And I know it's becoming a real buzzword, the microbiome or the microbiome in modern medicine. But from an Ayurvedic perspective, this has been the cornerstone of health for thousands of years at this stage. I mean, digestion is just seen as being so important, and the creation of so many diseases is caused by toxins, the production of ama, which is improper digestion. In other words, you've done things to weaken your digestion or knock your digestion out of balance. So, I mean, we've covered this topic in other webinars, but and in our 7-lesson course for sure. But tonight we're going to take a very in-depth look at it. So Dr. Chaitrali, who I'm sure most of you know, but Dr. Chaitrali is an Ayurvedic doctor. So to be an Ayurvedic doctor in India, it's a 6-year degree course. It's called a BAMS, a Bachelor of Ayurvedic Medicine and Surgery. And Dr. Chaitrali is very, very experienced. She's been working for a few years with the Ayurvedic Centre in Ireland, but before that she was working in Singapore, and she's lots of experiences, and she worked in hospitals in India as well. So she's lots of experience dealing with patients. So I'm going to hand over to Dr. Chaitrali, who's going to do this presentation. And we will have a Q&A at the end of it. Dr. Brennan might still be on at that stage, but we'll have a Q&A, but we'll do the presentation first and go through all of that. So Dr. Chaitrali, you're very welcome along. You can go ahead there.
Sure, thank you. I'll just share the screen.
Yeah, share your screen. I'll tell you when it's shared. Oh, maybe you can't. Okay.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you sure you can't share your screen?
No, it says the host disabled participant screening.
Okay, so you should be able to do it now.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. And, yep. Okay, great. Hope the slides are visible to everyone.
Yeah, it's different than our normal share screen. It has it still has you, and then it has the slide that you have, but we can see the slide very clearly. All right.
That should be okay. Yeah, that should be okay.
That should be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Just tell you, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Noel, for the introduction, and good evening, everyone, for this talk today. So it is holistic approach to nourish gut health. So Ayurveda is the oldest holistic healing system of medicine that focus on promoting wellness. So Ayurveda looks at wellness as a whole, and perfect health is defined as a state of balance between mind, body, soul, and social well-being. So rather than treating only the symptoms, Ayurveda focuses on finding and treating the root cause of diseases. So now let's move forward. The digestive fire, the Agni, it maintains and sustains life. So as Noel just mentioned, that the cornerstone of overall health in Ayurveda comes back to the concept of this digestive fire called as Agni. And this Agni has been meant to the sign of life. Okay, so it is said like you are only as healthy as your Agni is, how strong your Agni is, how strong your digestion is. And this digestive fire is crucial for digesting food and dealing with emotions and even the thoughts. Okay, so in Ayurveda, this digestive fire refers to an individual's overall digestive capabilities and plays an important role in keeping the gut healthy. So our body's digestive ability is like a fire. that flickers and that converts the food we consume into tiny molecules that our body absorbs as nutrients. And so this Agni, or the digestive fire, is one of the most important fundamental principles of Ayurveda, along with balance. Okay, so one sec. Yeah. Yeah. Where was I? Okay. So the Agni, the digestive fire, is one of the most fundamental principles of Ayurveda, along with balance. And according to Ayurveda, the secret of healthier and happier life depends on how perfectly we digest, absorb, and utilize the nutrients from the food we consume and properly excrete that waste out of the body. Okay, so food is not only the source of energy for our body, but it's the energy for our mind, our emotions as well. So if there is a disruption or imbalance in any of our digestive fire, then it leads to various disorders. And Ayurveda considers that this Agni, or the digestive fire, when it is healthy, it gives life, it gives strength, nourishment, and the consciousness. Okay, so just let's dive into this streaming natural law, which is coming ahead, and dive into the ancient Ayurvedic philosophy or the principles, and to get to know more how we can deal to have a good, healthy gut. Okay, so let's see what Ayurveda is. So Ayurveda is a very ancient science, and Ayurveda actually goes to the root cause. It goes to the very basics. And Ayurveda, the word itself, the Ayu means life and Veda means knowledge, and it is the science of life. So basically it is the science of life. So when you buy any gadget, I'll just give you an example. When you buy any gadget, you get a manual for that. Similar way, likewise, this manual tells you how to use that product, particularly how to use that product. Likewise, this Ayurveda is a manual that Mother Nature has created in us in partnership with humanity to teach us how to preserve our body and mind. So that's how the Lord Dhanvantari, the father of medicine, came to the earth and taught human beings how to preserve their healthy body and reverse the disease with the gift of Ayurveda, the science of life. And the main aim of Ayurveda is to maintain the health of a healthy person and to relieve a person from any disease they may have. So prevention of a disease is the primary aim of Ayurveda. Okay, so moving forward, why Ayurveda is called holistic? Why is Ayurveda holistic? So according to Ayurveda, living being is created from the essence of five senses, and then the five great elements which make up from the nature. So Ayurveda is something that works at cellular level. It defines your body in terms of energetics. It understands that there are only five elements in the entire universe, like the earth, water, fire, air, and space. Based on these five elements, the building blocks in our body are made, which is called as the Vata, wind element, the Pitta, the fire element, Kapha, which is the earth and water element. So these building blocks, the three bioenergies that keep us alive and govern our body, our mind and soul, to form a unique constitution. So the body types, the constitutions according to Ayurveda are there are like 7 different constitutions you can find. And whereas the modern science calls it as ectomorph body or the mesomorph body or the endomorph body as a body type. Now, the permutations and the combinations of these 5 elements and these building blocks determines what body type you are going to be. And it also determines what diseases you have an inclination towards. So your body type, that is the model, this machine, has already been determined and fixed at the time of being conceived. based on the health of a sperm and the ovum, that is the egg, and the health of the uterus of the mother, and the kind of diet the mother followed during the pregnancy. So your body type doesn't change entire lifetime, same as how your blood group remains. So you are born with some specific blood group, blood type, and which is stored in your brain as a life-saving information. Similarly, you can find out what your Ayurvedic body type is, and accordingly, you can design your diet and lifestyle and personalize it based on your unique body type, which is called as a unique biological blueprint. Okay, so in all living beings, these 5 elements, then the 3 energetics, the 3 attributes of mind, that is sattva, raja, tama, are dynamic and work together to structure a life called as a unique constitution. So moving forward, let's look at the principles of Ayurveda. So these principles of Ayurveda are authentic and are becoming increasingly scientifically proven by various research studies and even in the universities like Harvard and NIH. So Ayurveda is merely more than herbal preparations and home remedies. So these principles are prevalent since thousands of years, written in Vedas, the ancient books of Ayurveda, and are time-tested and universal in nature. So let's look at this functional component of the body, which are the 3 energetics, the vata, the pitta, and the kapha. And they are made up with permutation and combinations of the 5 elements. Okay, so they govern our body, and when in state of balance, they take care of all the functions of the body and the mind. So when you see the kapha is a combination of water and earth element, which represents the gross body, whereas the pitta is the fire element and the water element. It is understood as the transformative fire that is responsible for all the transformations happening in our body. Whereas vata is an air and space element, and it understands the role of responsibility of movement in the body, movement of thoughts, blood circulation, then the digestion process and the elimination process, and much more. So when in balance, they function well, but when they go out of balance, they might cause into a disorder. Okay, so let's move to the structural component of the body. So those are called as dhatus, and those are nothing but the tissues. They make most of the structural anatomy of our body. So like the plasma, the blood, the muscle tissue, the adipose tissue, bone marrow tissue, and the reproductive fluids. So these are the 7 tissues which Ayurveda considers as a structural component of the body. And their balance is the pointer of good health. And when they are in balance and they are nourished well, the essence of these tissues produces a vital energy, which is called as ojas. We are going to see it ahead. Okay, and if they are not functioning well, and if they go out of balance, if they are not nourished well, then it damages most of the systems in our body and create diseases. And let's look for the waste products of the metabolism. So Ayurveda does talk about these 3 major excreta of the body, which are the waste products of the metabolism, and they are formed on daily basis, keeping body healthy and fit by getting excreted out of the body at proper time and in right quantity. If they are not eliminated out of the body, they can get accumulated as toxins or as a free radicals in our body, and that's how leading to many multiple disorders. Okay, so likewise, when the digestive fire goes out of balance, what happens is it forms a toxic element which is called as ama. You can see here. So that toxic element is like a seed of disease, which comes back to the concept of this ama. Okay, when the digestive fire is weak and undigested food begins to accumulate in the form of toxins in the body, which weakens the metabolism and becomes a fertile ground for infections and illnesses to manifest in the body. Otherwise, when the digestive fire is like strong, digestion is optimal, and there is total assimilation of food, leaving very little toxins behind, then the vital energy, which remains high, and you feel very healthy, clear, pure, and very cheerful. So that is the ojas can be observed in the body as the benefit of health. So ojas is like it promises longevity and health. So when ama is high, when it goes out of balance, then the energy becomes low. So these are the basic principles of digestive fire, the toxins and the vital energy which is produced in the body. Then let's look over the mind. So Ayurveda does talk about the quality of mind. So these three qualities are the natures of your mind. So those are mode of existence. So these three gunas form the character and the nature and the progress of life of an individual. So when we talk about this sattva guna, means the beingness or being in harmony, and this is the quality of intelligence, knowledge, purity, whereas the rajas, it means activity. So it's the quality of attraction, passion, and causing imbalances sometimes. And whereas the tamaguna means the darkness and the chaos. It is the quality of dullness, darkness, and heaviness or lethargic in the body, obstructing action in the body. So all these three gunas are always present in all the beings. They might vary along with the changes in your body and what kind of food you take and what kind of things you do in your daily activity. Okay, so let's move forward. I'll be stressing more on this today, the three doshas, because these are the bioenergies which are the fundamental or the foundation of our body. So in general, we cannot like directly see these doshas, but we can assess them by their functions. So Ayurveda describes the functions of our mind and body in terms of these main three doshas. And basically, the Vata dosha is the energy of movement, Pitta dosha is the energy of transformation, and Kapha dosha is the energy of stability. Okay, so in the body, it is responsible for all the movements of the body. The Vata dosha is responsible for all the movements in the body, all the physiological, the excretion of waste, then the digestion process, and even it works on your mind, all the cognition and thinking and the process of elimination as well. Whereas the Pitta dosha is responsible for functions of transformation like digestion, energy production, metabolism, and then it resides mostly in the midgut. Whereas the Kapha dosha governs the growth, physical stability, growth, and maintenance of the structure of the body. And its primary location is mostly in the chest and the above region. Okay, so and then these doshas are acting dominantly in each phase of life. So from birth until the age of 25 years, it is the kapha phase which is dominating in your life, where you are growing, where you are developing in that stage of life. Whereas in the second stage of life, in the adulthood from 30 to 60 years, the pitta dosha is dominant, where you are transforming yourself, you are dynamic, active, and very ambitious during this period of the age. Whereas the last period, that is the old age, after the 60 years of age, vata plays a dominant role in irrespective of any body types, and that's how the degenerative changes starts to happen. Okay, so this is just the overview of the three doshas. Hope it is not very overwhelming to everyone. So there is a lot of repetitions. You will get there when you get to see like these lectures couple of times. Okay, so now Ayurveda even talks about these three pillars of life, that is food, sleep, and conservation of energy. Okay, so if we consider the human being as a house, so this food, sleep, and conservation of energy form the vital supporting pillars which balance our body and support the life within. So among the three pillars, this food is the major supporting pillar which helps in sustenance of life and maintenance of health. So one cannot imagine like living without having food. So food acts as a fuel and gives energy and nourishes your body and even your mind. Food possesses like six taste, and it has different qualities. It has even potencies, and these all things have a relationship with the three body energies which I talked about earlier, the Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Okay, then the sleep according to Ayurveda, the state when the mind and the body both go to rest, it is called as a sleep. And the sleep gives you, when you have a good restful sleep, it keeps you energized, it keeps your body and mind fresh and productive. Okay, so that's how sleep is really very important pillar of our life. Then conservation of energy, which is also called as brahmacharya. So brahma means most expanded state of your life, and charya is to be in the path of practice. To practice the expansion of your mind is nothing but conservation of energy. Okay, so there are like few moments in life to experience this acting, being productive. So make your mind more wider and conscious. So that's how you can attain this conservation of energy. So now when you take the food and when you have a food and nutrition is right, and then your sleep is in a correct way, you are sleeping properly, and then only you can engage into this conservation of energy. Okay, so this is how these three pillars are very important in our life. Now let's see what health is, what Ayurveda talks about health in Ayurveda. So having balanced digestive fire is key for good health and energy. Okay, so when you see here, balanced doshas, the three Vata, Pitta, Kapha, the bioenergies, then the healthy digestive fire, a good state of tissue, and proper excretion of waste leads to a cheerful state of senses, mind, and spirit, all of which leads to good health. So this is the definition of swastha, or the health, which Ayurveda talks about. So all the functions of the body like hunger, digestion, absorption, assimilation, segregation, and conversion of food into the body elements and tissues, and elimination of the toxins from the body takes place in an undisturbed way, in a proper way, and that is ultimately nothing but the health or the swastha according to Ayurveda. So health is equal to, balance is equal to health, or vice versa. Moving forward, now the topic, role of microbiome in the gut health. So now let's understand what is the difference between the microbiome and the microbiota. So microbiome refers to the massive assembly of microorganisms and their gene, where the microbiota only refers to the type of microbes or the microorganism present in the environmental habitats such as the human skin or gastrointestinal tract. So here we'll be focusing more on the gastrointestinal tract. So microbiome, the community of bacteria living in your gastrointestinal tract health, impacts everything from your digestion to your immunity and the moods as well. Okay, so your microbiome contains a mix of good and bad bacteria. The goal is to maintain a healthy balance of both. So in research studies, the role of microbiome in health and disease helps to provide a scientific understanding of key concepts in Ayurveda. So every aspect of our physiology and the health is influenced by collection of microorganisms that live in various parts of our body, especially in the gut microbiome. And there are many external factors which influence the composition of this gut microbiome. But one of the most important is diet, that is the food, and the digestion. And Ayurveda always focuses on the diet and the digestion. So the microbiome is present in many parts of the body, but the largest collection of over like 30 trillion bacteria is in the gut. You can find in the gut flora. The gut microbiome participates in the vital process, including the digestion, the metabolism, the energy production, the synthesis of vitamins and other nutrients, and the development and regulation of immune function and the brain function as well. So it also contributes to the production of numerous compounds that enter the blood circulation and affect various tissues and organs of the body. So when the microbiome is in balance, it contributes to many health benefits. But when it goes out of balance, it can cause problems in the gut and the other areas or the other major organs in our body. Okay, so this is the main role of gut microbiome relationship with the disorders. Okay, so let's move forward and let's focus on the topic Agni. So Agni represents our inner fire or energy. Agni is nothing but the digestive fire, and Agni is the gatekeeper of good health. So it is crucial for digesting food and dealing with emotions and thoughts as well. Okay, so it is called as a powerhouse of body, mind, and soul. Agni represents enzymes responsible for like digestion and metabolism, and Agni works on a cellular level. It is not only just in the gut, but it works on cellular levels. It works with the gut and the brain as well. Okay. So when when the digestive fire is in a good health, in a good condition, the overall growth and the development of the body and the intelligence and the color and complexion of your skin, the luster, then even giving longevity to the life, these all things happen only because of the optimal digestive fire in your body when it is functioning well in your body. So let's move forward and see what is the status of your digestive fire or the Agni. Okay, so Ayurveda does talk about like different states of Agnis, how it is. So there are like 4 main types of digestive fire which Ayurveda talks about, and each is connected to our bioenergies, the vata, pitta, kapha in our body, which handles the digestion and energy. Okay, so knowing your digestive capacity is very important, and we all digest food differently, as we know. And one individual may like gleam with satisfaction after a meal, but while the another person may clutch his stomach in agony after eating the exact same thing what the other person has ate. So that is because of what? So let's see. So this different status of Agni helps to tailor your diet and lifestyle as well, and adjusting your lifestyle based on your digestive fire type ensures your body and mind are in sync, leading to better health and energy. So the first one is the normal intensity. This is called as the Sama Agni, and this type symbolizes a well-balanced digestion. Those with this digestive capacity, these individuals have a good immunity, has a mental clarity and abundant energy, making an ideal state of well-being. Whereas the second one is irregular intensity, that is called as Vishamagni, which is tied with the wind element in our body, the Vata dosha aggravation in our body, and it signifies unsteady digestion leading to like gases production, bloating, and constipation. And these individuals are really affected with the diet stress levels. Then is the high intensity digestion. So this kind of Tikshna Agni is associated with the fire element or the Pitta aggravation. So this type is marked by an overly strong digestive fire causing rapid digestion and intense hunger. This is also not very good for your body. It can result in acidity, inflammatory changes, and various health issues of overheating and acid refluxes. Whereas low intensity, so the Manda Agni, this is associated with Kapha. It is slow and sluggish digestion. It leads to like feeling of heaviness and excess mucus and slow metabolism. So this can lead to like weight issues and high cholesterol and other health complications in your body. So that's why it's important to know the status of your digestive fire. Moving forward, the importance of Agni. Most people think that the food provides nourishment and complete health to the human body. Of course, it is partially true. The other important and missing aspect is that of digestive fire or the Agni, which is present in your gut. So this digestive fire plays an important role in connection in nourishing your tissues. And if these tissues are not nourished well, and if these are left undigested, if they go out of balance, they create disorders or diseases. That's why maintaining strong digestive fire is key to healthy gut. Okay, so that's why Agni or the digestive fire is important. And when the digestion goes out of balance, you may have symptoms like indigestion, allergies, skin reactions, and feeling of heaviness, and then stress and anxiety, and these all things might be seen. So that's why digestive fire is very important. And according to Ayurveda, wellness is closely linked with how good or bad your digestion is. And so Ayurveda identifies the digestive fire or this Agni as the key to the healthy gut. Okay. So moving forward, the cardinal signs of balanced and the digestive fire. So these are the few cardinal signs which can be seen, like the strong hunger, timely excretion of waste, no excess weight gain or weight loss, experiencing good sleep, then having clear skin, no odor from your breath or even from your sweat, feeling energetic throughout the body and feeling positive and having positive thoughts. So these are all the signs of balanced digestive fire in your body. Okay. So moving forward, it is imbalanced state. So imbalanced state of digestive fire. So impaired digestive fire disturbs digestion process and thus leads to accumulation of toxins that is called as ama, affecting the body and the mind. So as I said earlier, like the seed of disease comes back to the concept of this toxins. By contrast, this ama is a toxic substance, diseases causing substance that forms as a result of like impaired Agni, and that in turn destroys the digestive fire. So this is a vicious cycle of that. And this toxin or ama can be like very heavy, undigested, heavy and sticky formed toxic byproduct formed due to like poor dietary habits, lifestyle, and low digestive fire. Okay, so if this digestive energy is not up to the mark or it is disturbed, then various stomach related issues arise like indigestion, diarrhea, stomachache, constipation, and which can be persistent and which can be prolonged for a longer duration of time. And that may lead into few other new disorders, okay, like headache, migraines, lethargy, irritability, like disturbed sleep and reduced immunity, stress. So these are the likely disorders to erupt from prolonged indigestion. So that's how, like, this imbalanced digestive fire should be corrected well, and that's how you have to keep your gut healthy. Okay, so moving forward, so this imbalanced state of digestive fire leads to diseases. Okay, factors that disturb the gut health. So which are the factors? Again, the toxins are the main factors. And how are they accumulated? Let's see. So it's not only the diet which affects the gut health, but lifestyle does contribute here. So like having too much of spicy food, like oily food, then excess of medicines, intake of medicines, painkillers, antibiotics, sedentary lifestyle, and then stress, even overuse of antibiotics, not even taking enough sleep, or even alcohol consumption and cigarette smoking. So these all contribute to disturbing your gut health. Okay, so even a simple example, if I want to give, like according to Ayurveda, the raw food weakens the digestive fire, leading to like digestive issues like bloating, gas formation, and thus accumulation of toxins. And it also impacts on your mind as well. So having like cold salads or cold pastas aggravates the vata dosha and leading to the symptoms of like indigestion, and then constipation, dryness, anxiety, and mood swings. So that's why think what you are eating, and these are the factors which are contributing to disturbed gut health. Okay, so, and that leads to recurrent indigestion. Now let's see the significance in relation to the disease. So gut has a significant impact on your physical, mental, emotional, and the energetic health. Okay, so now the gut is a fuel engine of your body. This is where the nutrients come from all your organs, like the brain, the heart, the liver, the kidney, intestine, gallbladder. All of these organ depends on your gut for the fuel. If the gut starts malfunctioning, it starts leaking, then all the organs will also start feeling the impact and start suffering. Reasons why to take care of your gut. So firstly, at physical level, you need to take care of your gut health. Then secondly, an unhealthy colon and a leaky gut syndrome are responsible for 90% of the diseases we suffer in our body. And the third, but not the least, is the emotions are experienced in the gut. When you feel like anxious, scared, excited, happy, nervous, butterflies fluttering in the stomach. So you feel it in the gut. So memories are also stored in the gut. The intuitions come from the gut. So these are the three things which you have to remember. And this is proven by the modern science now, the gut flora, which is almost like 1 trillion plus bacteria, with good bacteria, 85% of good bacteria and 15% of bacteria, which influence directly and impact on your mental health as well. Okay, so your gut impacts your mental health. Your gastrointestinal tract is extremely sensitive to the emotions. You are having emotional turmoil or anxiety, or if you are overthinking, it leads to indigestion and a series of other gastrointestinal disorders. So your gut impacts your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Okay, and that's how, like, the gut is related to the brain as well. Okay, so imbalanced microbiome has been associated with a number of gastrointestinal diseases, including the irritable bowel syndrome or inflammatory bowel disorders, numerous other conditions such as obesity, diabetes, skin diseases, cardiovascular diseases, most of the cancers, neurological disorders, physiological disorders like psychological disorders like depression, anxiety, and even in even in kids nowadays, we are seeing early childhood asthma, childhood obesity, autism spectrum. So this is nothing because of excessive use of antibiotics, which results in the alteration in the microbiome or the gut. Okay, and lastly, even the serotonin. So serotonin plays a very important role in both the central nervous system, that is your brain, and the gastrointestinal system, that is your gut functions. Okay, so serotonin functions in the central nervous system, which regulates the mood, sleep and appetite, stress and anxiety. Whereas the serotonin in the GI tract, in your tract, it remains in the gut lining, and it influences various aspects of gut functions, including peristalsis, the secretion of digestive enzymes, then sensory perception related to digestive process, regulating appetite, and even like it contributes to the perception of like feeling fullness and discomfort, influencing eating behaviors. So serotonin also plays an important role in contributing to the gut health. Okay, so this is how these are the things which are related to the disorders, and that's why you have to keep your gut very healthy and clean. Moving forward, let's see the effect of food on moods. Okay, so there are like the three different types of food which Ayurveda talks about. So according to Ayurveda, all the food that you consume has like consciousness. So the sattvic food has the consciousness or the prana in it, and the proper digestion of food consumed and assimilation has an effect on your thoughts and the feelings. So if you consume like fresh food, which is consumed within 3 to 4 hours, fresh fruits, green vegetables, nuts, grains, ghee, certain spices, whole grains, lentils. So these are going to, and if they are digested well, it's going to have a good effect on your mind, a positive thought, a joyful, cheerfulness, spirituality, patience, and tolerance. Whereas when your digestifier is not working well, and when you are having pitta predominant or fire spicy food or fried tea, coffee, like substances, so this is going to this is going to lead to more of anger, irritability, and judgmentalness, or even hyperactivity in your body. Whereas when you take tamasic food, that is non-vegetarian, and stale food, and excessive intake of fats and oils, so this is going to aggravate more of kapha dosha, or the water and the earth element in your body, creating dullness and lethargy in the mind, depression, or more of attachment and carelessness. Okay, so the this is how it affects on the food affects on your mind as well. So how to reset your gut health? Okay, so these are the things which you have to keep in mind according to Ayurveda. Having food and lifestyle, having good food and lifestyle will help to reset the gut health. So based on your age, which phase of life you are in, your constitution, your daily physical activity, what is your topographic or geographical conditions where you are living in. So these all contribute to your healthy and a happy gut. Okay. So these are the 8 factors which you have to keep in mind when you are having a food, the nature of the food. So every food has 6 tastes and different qualities and the potencies. So like it can be heavy, light, cooling effect. Like if I give an example of Vata body type. So Vata are light and dry in nature. So if this person eats more of cold salads and pastas, it's going to aggravate more of Vata in the body and causing more of dryness and bloating and constipation. So instead of that, the Vata person should eat something warm, nourishing food like cooked vegetables, grains, and soups, etc. Whereas Pitta body type, it is hot in nature. So Pitta imbalance would create more of like anger, acidity. So Pitta people should have like cooling foods such as cucumber, mint, and coconut, etc. to balance the digestive fire. Whereas the Kapha body type, they are heavy and bulky in nature. So they should have like light, warm, and spicy food so that it helps the Kapha dosha in balance. Okay, so method of processing the food. So method of processing is like cooking, so storing and preserving the food, or even if you are boiling like some food items like grains, lentils, fresh veggies, if you cook them well, they are easy to digest. They are easy on your tummy to digest. Whereas like pastas and rice, you need to you need to cook them well or pressure cook them so that they are easy to digest. So that's like if you're culturing a milk to create a yogurt or even a cheese, churning or whisking yogurt to make a buttermilk. So this is all the processing which happens on the food, and processing is everything that has happened to the food before it reaches your plate. Okay. So the combination of food substances, so this is also very important. So this is like food chemistry. You should always think about what combination you are having the food. So when 2 or 3 substances, when you are combining it together, and they are if that combination is not working well, or if it is harmful for your body, so you should think in that way. So Ayurveda talks about the wrong food combinations, that is called as incompatible food. So like mixing of fruits and milk together, like having a milkshake, then mixing of fruit and yogurts together, or mixing of honey and hot water together, or mixing of chicken and yogurt together. So these are the wrong combinations which Ayurveda talks about. And it is because it causes a toxic substance which is heavy to digest, and that delays your digestion process. And 1/3 of the part is just left in the gut without excreting out of the body, causing free radicals in your body. Okay, so that's why it is important to see the food combinations when you are having that. Then it is the quality of food. So the quantity of food. So even the most healthy food can be poison if not consumed in the correct amount based on the individual's health or the digestive capacity. So you have to look into, like, if a food is nutrient dense, take a smaller portion of that. Like fats, grains, starchy vegetables should be taken in smaller quantity, whereas the food which are nutrient rich and in low calories, so that can be taken in a larger portion, like fibers, like cooked veggies, then the minerals and the fruits. So these can be taken in more quantities, like seeds as well, the nuts. Then the food which is food in which the nutrient is poor and is high in calories, so you should try to avoid this, like try to avoid this to have every day, but you can have it in smaller quantities sometimes, like those are like dessert treats and snack foods. Okay, so this is how you have to think when you're having a food. Then place where the food is cultivated, like food originates from your natural habitat tends to be the best for you. So having foods seasonally, have seasonally foods, have the food which is grown in your own land. That is what is said. That's what Ayurveda talks about, and that is good for your body. Okay, so if I have to give an example, in springtime, the green veggies are like abundant, and they provide, like, they act as a detox for your body. So try to have more green leafy vegetables during that time. And during the summer, there are like a lot of juicy fruits which are there in the market. So try to have melons and then grapes, so that it will be cooling for your body. Okay, then the time of intake of food, that is really very important. So follow proper or regular meal times throughout the day. So Ayurveda advises that the main meal is taken at the midday when the digestive fire is strongest, and light meal for the dinner. Okay, then it is the rule of taking food, how to consume food. For example, like refraining from consuming food before your previous meal has been digested. So you have to think like, are you really hungry, and then only have food. Okay, then it is eat with self-awareness and self-responsibility. So this is the action of food depends on the physical and the psychological state of an individual. So just to give an example, so this means like, if you want to eat, if you want to, do you know that you don't want to eat certain types of food, but like if you want to eat an ice cream, so think like ice cream is heavy to digest, so you can have it at the midday, for at the lunchtime, than having it in the evening. So when the Agni or the digestive fire is strong, you can have that ice cream at that time. So this is how is that you are taking care of your self-awareness, and you are responsibly acting upon what you are eating and what you are not eating. So this is how these all factors contribute to a good gut health. Okay, so I know that there are like a lot of things to take in, but don't get overwhelmed. Slowly you will get there after hearing this lecture couple of times. So now we are coming to the main point, the healthy habits to maintain the gut health. So include like food items such as grains, lentils, fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, spices, and fresh dairy products, herbal tea, cheese, oil, salted lassi. So these are all like probiotics and the prebiotics. And these are the two major strategies to influence the gut flora. So the probiotics like lassi or kombucha or kimchi. So I'm just giving you the examples. So these probiotics have a wide range of benefits, but functions more as a immunomodulator. So it increases more of immunity and supports to your own beneficial bacteria on your own microbiome. Okay, so that's why try to take this at least 3 to 4 times in a week. Then it is the prebiotics like the veggies, and the fruits, fresh veggies and the fruits. So prebiotics are the constituent parts of the food that act as a fertilizer for the microbes in the colon. So that's why it's very important to include the grains, the veggies, the fruits, the spices, the nuts, everything in your daily diet. Okay. Then eat only when you are hungry. We just saw that. Don't overeat, don't skip meals. Have lunch as a big meal of the day and light dinner. So, and there should be minimum of 3 to 4 hours of gap between the each meal, and don't starve for more than 6 hours except when you are sleeping at night. So have half teaspoon of ginger relish before meals. So this is a good digestive. It helps for aiding your digestion. So I'll be talking about the ginger relish in further slides. So post meal, sit for 5 to 10 minutes in the thunderbolt pose. So this is the figure here. So you have to fold your legs and sit. So this is the only asana which can be done after eating. So this is the thunderbolt pose, and it helps in digestion. So the most of the blood flow from the lower region, it is concentrating on your upper belly and your solar plexus, where the mid belly is, and that's how it helps in digestive system. It helps for the lungs and even to the brains as well. Okay, so that's why this helps for digesting the food properly. Okay, so who should not do this? Who have like joint problems, stiffness of joints, and then arthritis and slip discs. So these people should take care and should be done under proper supervision. First learn to do this and then only do it after your meals. Then simple walk of 100 steps is really important post meal. Okay, then chewing mouth fresheners like fennel seeds, carom seeds, which are again the digestive carminative herbs. Then clove and cardamom. Drink warm or normal water throughout the day. Don't have iced or cold waters. So include some physical activities like yoga or running or swimming, any activity, and breathing techniques, and even the meditation practice daily. Then regular seasonal detox. This is really important because you tend to accumulate a lot of toxins by eating some or other food which are not good for your body. So you feel dull, lethargic, heavy. So these are all kinds of like signs of toxic accumulation. So cleansing rekindles and restores your digestive fire at optimal levels. So cleansing eliminates all the toxins from your body, and hence it makes your digestive fire again strong. So that's why this seasonal detox during the spring and autumn is really important. Then take care of your sleep and rest, and follow proper daily regimen and seasonal regimen. So let's see what is biological clock and the daily regimen. Okay, so dosha dominance are the bioenergies varies as per the place, time, day and night, and the age and the taste and the season, etc. Okay, so the balance to balance your constitution, first thing comes to your mind is the biological clock, the circadian rhythm. So this means being balanced with the internal body cycle and the external nature. Our body works mutually and reciprocally along with the nature. When there is a mismatch between the internal clock and the external surrounding, it can affect one's well-being. For example, when we experience a jet lag, what happens? We totally get disturbed with our sleep, our food timings, and our excretion timings as well. Okay, even change in season, many people when they have like low immunity, they catch cold, flu, and some or the other infection. So this happens because we are not in rhythmic or in cycle with the nature. Okay, so in nature cycle there are like movements of elements around it. It is a 4 hours window where the respective dosha becomes active or dominant during the time of the day. So now when we see in the first 1/3, that is from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., the kapha dosha is more predominant, where you need to eliminate toxins from your body. That's how you drink. When you wake up, you drink warm water, and then you brush your teeth, you do tongue scraping, and then oil pulling, and then nasal oil. So these all help to eliminate the excess mucus or excess toxins which are accumulated in your body. So this is daily cleansing process. And then you indulge in some of the yoga practices or running or any activity or gym, and then meditate, and then have your breakfast at this time. Then the next four no, then the next 4 hours is the pitta time from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. During this time, you are more active at this time of the day. You are more productive, so you work during that time, and then the main meal can be had between this window period until from 12 to 2 p.m. Okay, and then the rest 4 hours from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. It is the vata time. You feel most alert and creative, and good time for tackling problems, designing or constructing projects. So this is the time where the vata plays an important role. And similarly, the cycle again continues. Then from 6 to 10, it is kapha. That's why you have to have like light dinner at that time, and then go to bed before 10 p.m. That's really very important, or else the pitta starts to show its activeness, and you might not go to sleep if you sleep after 10 p.m. And many people like complain like we have insomnia or we cannot sleep properly, but it's very important. If you are sleeping before 10 p.m., you are going to have a good sleep, or else the balance gets disturbed. Okay, so this is how the biological clock and the daily regime plays an important role for keeping yourself healthy. Okay, now the seasonal regimen. So seasonal regimen, here we can see like as we have like there are 4 seasons here: the winter, the spring, the summer, and the autumn. So nature provides the ideal harvest for each season to keep yourself strong, healthy, and energized and focused. So in winters, we naturally crave for warm soups, nuts, grains, and other high fat and protein foods such as meat and fish, which again is according to the nature, where the vata or the air element is more in the nature. So you need all these grounding and warm stuff to keep harmony with the nature. And in spring, we want cooked veggies, berries, and leafy greens, a naturally low fat diet, which is like a kapha or pacifying diet. And in summers, when the days are long and hot, we require like cooling and high energy food such as fruits and veggies and juices. So this is going to keep yourself cold and away from the heat. Okay, and during the autumn, it is like the warm, oily, deep, nourishing food which will keep you away from the wind which has started to blow in the nature. Okay, so the new research suggests that our gut microbes are meant to change seasonally with the foods we eat. So seasonal microbes optimize digestion, mood, and immunity in the way the nature intents. So that's why the seasonal regime is also important for your gut health. Then moving forward, there are only like few slides left, just 3 slides left now. I know it's like overwhelming and too much, but slowly you'll get there. And this is the very important topic now, the spices. So spices, after understanding the balance with the nature with the help of like biological clock and seasonal regime, Ayurveda takes this basic understanding of balance much further by helping you understand which food items like spices, the grains, the lentils, the vegetables, etc. will have what energetic effect on your body and mind. So most of these spices are like pungent and slightly bitter in taste, with strong aroma and hot in nature. So it should be used in a very small quantity, like from half teaspoon to 1 teaspoon daily. Excess use may lead to like burning sensation, excess thirst, and tiredness. That's why you should use it in a very minimum quantity. Due to its hot and light quality, it helps to like pacify the kapha dosha or the excess mucus and the toxic accumulation. So it is very good to flush out the toxins. It helps to like cleanse the oral cavity, sharpens your sense organs, increases digestive strength, has scraping effect over the body channels, and kills the germs and the worms, and thus improve the gut microbiome. So when we see this cumin, turmeric, and ginger, so they are all antimicrobial. They have antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory properties. They are digestive. They relieve pain and useful in IBS as well, and as an appetizer as well. Whereas the fenugreek seeds are very good to lower down the sugar levels. When you soak fenugreek seeds in a glass of water and drink that water, keep it overnight and drink it in the morning. So that also helps to regulate the blood sugar levels, and it and in lactating mothers, it is good for lactation, and it is used as a postpartum recovery as well. And even the fenugreek fresh leaves, you can make vegetables out of that, and that is also really good for digestion and promoting lactation and postpartum recovery. Then cardamom and cloves. So these are also a good taste enhancer and improves digestion, good for nausea and vomiting, and even used as a diuretic and for headaches as well. Then cinnamon is also good for lowering your sugar levels, helps to control that, and then the mouth ulcers and immunostimulant and even in digestion. So, and coriander seeds are cooling, useful in burning micturition, like burning sensation, excessive thirst, indigestion, fever and vomiting. Then garlic cloves. So these are also good digestive. They are good for digestion, good for, it is a good prebiotic and good for heart and lowering the cholesterol levels as well. And asafoetida is also good to reduce the vata balance, and it also helps in reducing the bloating and the indigestion. So just to give an example how the spices works well with the combination of grains, like if I talk about the lentils, so lentils are like hard to digest. They are hard on your tummy, and they can cause gas buildup in the intestines. So this gas issue, they increase the vata dosha. So when these lentils are cooked in a oil or a ghee, along with these all spices like cumin, coriander, turmeric, ginger, garlic, so these all spices will help as and digestive, and it will reduce the bloated or gas production after having those lentils, and it will aid in digestion and reduce the vata aggravation effect of that lentils in your body. So this is how the spices are used in daily cooking. Then let's see what are the home remedies which can be done and the herbal formulations for keeping your gut healthy. So this CCF that is cumin, coriander, and fennel seed tea. So boil 1 teaspoon of each of this in 1 liter of water for 10 to 15 minutes, and strain it and sip that warm water throughout the day. So that balances all the 3 doshas, the 3 energies, the vata, pitta, and kapha, good for digestion, improves the circulation as well, cleanses urinary tract. It works as a mild detox, de-stress, and calms the mind. So CCFT is really good. Then the ghee. So ghee balances pitta dosha very well, hence to be taken at pitta time, like at the afternoon time during your lunch time. So when the pitta is maximum, to cool yourself, to pacify that pitta dosha, and even it is helpful to pacify the vata dosha or the wind element in your body. So it is good to take in the evening times as well to relieve from stress, anxiety, excess thoughts, and lack of sleep. So it even ghee even ignites the digestive fire if it is taken in a proper quantity, like 1 teaspoon to 2 teaspoon daily, and it can be used in the cooking or even as a spread over the bread, or even you can put it over the soup and the rice. Can be used for gentle food massage or over the cracked lips, and as a nasal drop or over the dry skin. So these are the uses. This is how you can use ghee. Then it is the salted lassi. So salted lassi are easy to digest. It has astringent and sour taste and good for digestion. It works as a probiotics and reduce inflammation. And if you have lack of appetite, it is really good to improve the digestion as well. And it works on the indigestion when you have like diarrhea or indigestion. So have this lassi along with your meal, so or with the rice, so that keeps your gut really smooth and healthy. Then the ginger relish. So ginger relish, Let me tell you how you have to prepare this. So you just have to take a big piece of ginger or take a big jar and just fill 3/4 of that jar with the grated or paste of ginger, and then squeeze 1 lemon into that paste, and 1/2 teaspoon of black salt, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1/2 tablespoon of honey. Mix this well and refrigerate it. And every day before meal, you can take it like 1/2 teaspoon of that ginger relish. Only thing, make sure like when you are taking the ginger relish, it should be in a room temperature. So try to keep the ginger relish bottle out of the fridge like 1 or 2 hours before the meal so that it comes to the room temperature. Then the mouth fresheners like I mentioned, the fennel seeds and the carom seeds. So these are also very good digestives, and it helps in relieving constipation. It relieves bloating or abdominal distension or even stomach disorders. So, and even it has a deworming action as well. So these mouth fresheners are really good to keep your gut healthy. And then we have like Vata organic, Vata churna, then Pitta churna and Kapha churna, which are a mix of herbs, which I talked earlier. You can just buy it online if you don't know the combinations of spices to use according to your doshas. And then we have like herbal formulations like Digest Plus, Herbal Digest, Herbal ECI Balance, Gastro Support, Triphala Plus, and Hingwashtak Churna. So these are all mostly digestive herbs, but they should be taken only under doctor's guidance, because they might impact your balance of or imbalance of doshas or the bioenergies in your body. Moving forward, so the best health advice, what I would like to give you is be aware of the signals of your stomach. Observe it well, be in the present moment, savor the taste what you are having of your food, and be non-judgmental about your body. Accept it and then just move forward and work on that. Be aware of your feelings and inquire. Okay, and then proper food intake for disease prevention is control over your mind. Like think what you have to eat, and then moderate intake of food is really important, and proper timings, follow proper timings, and intake of wholesome food, healthy food is really very important. And the last thing, the healthy gut. So what Ayurveda defines as a healthy gut is when your digestive fire is at optimal health, your body is able to digest food with ease, absorb nutrients, build healthy tissues, and eliminate waste easily out of the body. This leads to the production of healthy ojas, essence of tissue or vital energy. Ojas is that vital energy, in turn building your natural immunity and will be protected from diseases. Okay. And eating healthy and cooking is both science and an art. Be the artist of your own mind and body. Thank you.
Great, Dr.
Right,
Chaitrali.
Dr. Chaitrali.
Oh,
Yeah.
hang on. Feedback. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was coming from your computer, probably. Yeah. Well done. That was absolutely excellent. A lot of information in there, so people will get the slides tomorrow. They'll be able to go back over them. There's the last few slides there. The one about listening to your stomach. I mean, that Dr. Brennan always said that. Even before you eat a meal, just stop and think, well, am I hungry? That's the main thing, because so many of us eat, and I'm very guilty of it myself. We eat because it's the time to eat, as opposed to we're actually hungry. But hunger is that ability to digest that food and bring out those nutrients, to digest those nutrients properly. And if you're not hungry, you've got to ask yourself why are you not hungry? And that more than likely will come back to some lifestyle or eating late at night the night before, or bad diet or whatever. But and it's great because when you were saying earlier on about how the gut affects the health and the mental health, but it's probably a two-way street. It's probably your mental health and your physical body affects your digestion, and your digestion affects your mental health and your physical body as well. So it's kind of working both ways. But using the gut and the digestion is a very good place to start for people to start repairing things. Have you any comments, Dr. Brennan? Oh, I have to unmute you. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
to unmute him. Yeah.
Yeah, you should be able to unmute now.
Great, thanks, Noel. Yeah, masterclass. Thank you very much, Chaitrali. It's very enjoyable and very holistic. We see how it's all connected through how you present it. But it is very interesting that everything hinges on Agni. Agni you could take as transformations. And the transformations that happen in the nucleus of the cell, that happen in the cell, that happen in the organs, that happen in the tissues, they all are driven by what's happening in your gut. This is your prime Agni. And so all those advices about, knowing how to choose your food, how to combine it, how to cook it, when to eat, how much to eat, all of those are so significant because they impact not just what's going on in your stomach, but in every cell. And that's the genesis of either health or disease. Vata, Pitta, Kapha, they act because of their action on these transformations. So Agni is so important. And you made the point beautiful of how the microbiome is now empowering medicine, which up to now couldn't understand the significance of digestion. Begin to see that the bugs in your gut, they control your hormone system, your immune system, even your thinking. Serotonin that you talked about, Chaitrali, 90% produced in the gut, it's your happy hormone. So again, all these connections. I think there's only one thing that I could add to that, something that has just come up recently, in that there are prebiotics and probiotics. The best way for taking care of your microbiome is to have 30 different plants in your diet every week, because each plant feeds a whole host of bacteria, good bacteria, in your gut. 30 plants, you're feeding 30 colonies, because you have a vast microbiome. So the prebiotics, take 30 different plants in your diet every week. Probiotic are the actual bacteria themselves, which people take. They take tablets of probiotics. Now the evidence is a bit this way and that on, because your stomach is so acid that if you put your hand into your stomach, after 5 minutes you'd pull out a skeleton. It'd all be digested, all your flesh. So bacteria have to get past the stomach. The stomach is acid to prevent us from taking on board bad bacteria. So obviously, some bacteria associated with the fibers in the food seem to get through, because if you introduce a new plant, within a couple of months, you'll have a good microbiome, good bacteria. So they seem to come with the food, actually. And the fibers food help the bacteria to get through. But taking probiotics, I'm not sure about them, but recently another issue has come up. Bacteria go into spores when the climate is not right for them, and the spores are very tough. It's a phase of bacteria's life. They've started with spore biotics, which is the spore phase of a bacteria. That spore seems to get through the stomach acid. And so if someone were taking probiotics, I'd suggest spore biotics, spore probiotics. And they're available from one website. It's Microbiome Lab. And you go in there and you register as a patient, but they generally want you to mention a practitioner. So you can mention a practitioner, because you can put in my name if you want, to get those spore biotics. And you take them, not like probiotics, you take them 2 daily for 3 weeks, and then you go down to 1 or 2 a week, because within a month your bacteria seems to be multiplied and you have a good microbiome, and then you just maintain it. So for anybody who's interested in the probiotics, the only thing I could think to add to everything that Chaitrali has said, which you should really hear again and again, it was so good, so well put together, and lots of practical stuff there. Remember the cookery courses as well, Noel, because a lot of information comes through on the combination and the preparation of foods in the cookery courses you make available.
30 plants you're talking about. I mean, probably if you sat down, you'd take a while to start thinking of 30 plants even, or 30 vegetables, because we tend to cook around 5 or 6, but that includes all of the different spices. Obviously, they're plants as well. All of the different coriander, cumin, fennel, all of those things are all spices as well. Yeah.
The fruit and the pulses and the grains and the nuts and the seeds.
Yeah. And then, the prebiotic, by getting the right food and getting the right ingredients and getting the right fiber, maybe you don't need the probiotics at all. Maybe your gut will come into proper sync after a while. But anyway, you'll know. And like when you become sensitive to your gut, when you've eaten the wrong thing. Like I was doing a bit of walking on the Camino way there last week, and sometimes it's hard to get proper food. And like if you eat a lot of bread and cheese and things like that, like immediately I can, I don't have that very nice feeling I get after I've eaten a lovely meal, with mung dal and vegetables and all the different spices. And there's just this very nice feeling in your gut, in your stomach, of contentment and happiness. And there's no wind and there's no bloating and there's no acid, and you're full of energy and all that. But like if you start eating like a bread with cheese and stuff like that, then you can feel that acid build up. So you can see things going wrong within you already. So it's about listening to your stomach, like Dr. Chaitrali actually said. Now, there was a question there from a lady, Caroline Howard. She said, my question is that in macrobiotic cooking, we are told that eating a small portion of fermented food daily is good for gut health. However, I understand that Pitta body type should not have too much fermented food. Is this correct? Have I misunderstood? No, I think you've understood correctly, but you can still have some fermented food. Like, it's all about balance. And Pitta people probably don't need or wouldn't need as much fermented food as other people, but you could still probably have a small amount. Would that be your take on it, Chaitrali?
Yeah, that's correct understanding. So Pitta people can have, like, looking at their Pitta balance, have it once a week, I would say. The Kapha person can have it at least 4 times in a week, because the digestion is sluggish in their case. Whereas the Vata person can have it like 2 or 3 times a week. So just look at your tummy, just observe your tummy, and then go for it.
Okay, and what is the best fermented food from an Ayurvedic perspective? Or not the best, but what would be a common one?
Common one fermented is idli or dosa, which we usually prepare. So it's commonly seen in South India. So those are the things, like you soak the rice and the black gram, and then you keep it overnight, grind it, and then that's how it is fermented. And the bacteria are formed into that. And then you
what about kombucha? Kombucha, is that part of it?
Yeah, kombucha and kimchi. So these are all like fermented foods which can be taken.
Okay, because I had some kombucha when I was in Mexico a while back, and I found it very, very nice.
Even kefir is there.
Kefir is the other one, the Indian one I was thinking. Yeah, kefir would have some. Yeah, okay, so there are foods there, and just in moderation for Pitta people, really. But again, it's just about listening to yourself. Everybody is different, So can you say something about resetting the gut biome after antibiotics? And that's from Holly. Well, we already have said something about that, Holly, because all of the things that Dr. Chaitrali suggested there, the different herbs and everything, they're going to help to reset the biome. I mean, the antibiotics, the problem with them is maybe we need to take them. Sometimes they're necessary, sometimes they're not necessary. I would say they are overprescribed, but sometimes they are necessary, and they are obviously going to have an effect on the microbiome. So as soon as we're finished the course and we've completed the course and it's done what it's supposed to do, then you go back into doing all the right things, and you can, maybe that might be a time to take those probiotics that Dr. Brennan was talking about after you've taken an antibiotic, just to help speed things up. But if you just go back into eating all those fruits, the vegetables, the cooked grains, using all the spices, then just over time your biome will naturally begin to come back into order,
Yeah, and again, you can sip the CCFT. So sip it for 1 or 2 weeks until your digestion is proper. So CCFT and then the ginger relish is going to really help for you. And chive, cardamom, this fennel seeds and carom seeds. Pinch of fennel seeds and pinch of carom seeds. They are little pungent in taste, the carom seeds, but the fennel seeds are sweet. So mix it together and have it post meal. So that will also help to aid your digestion, flush out the toxins after taking the antibiotics.
Okay, that's good advice. So Conceptus there says 1 to 2 teaspoons of ghee a day is very little. I'm not sure. Again, it's down to Vata Pitta Kapha. So
Yeah,
if you're
again,
Vata, you can take more. But if you're Kapha, 2 teaspoonsfuls of ghee a day would be plenty. You know. Uh,
yeah.
I understand meat is not advised. That's not necessarily so. That would vary from Vaja to Vaja, but I cook organic chicken bone broth a lot and I feel it really benefits my gut and has healed it in the past. So I think it's about being self-referral. I have never heard any of the Vajas telling people not to take meat. Even it's just people have an idea that they're going to be told not to take meat. Again, if you're going to take meat, take good meat, take natural meat. I eat meat. I'm not vegetarian. Most of the doctors probably are. I'm not. But what I do eat is venison, wild deer that's hunted in the forests around here, and there's too many of them anyway. So and it's the most delicious meat imaginable. But chicken broth, bone broth, I would say I wouldn't be saying to anybody not to take that. That sounds good, and it's obviously you feel it's done you good, so stick with it. You know. Actually, Don Brennan has actually even answered that. You know.
Could I just add, can I just add to the lady who took the antibiotics that was the evidence that first brought probiotics to the fore was the recognition that within 3 weeks the microbiome could be greatly expanded, and the good bacteria that develop over those 3 weeks, they eliminate the bad bacteria. So 2 tablets, 2 capsules daily for at least the 3 weeks, and then going on to a maintenance dose to maintain it.
Okay, and Noreen said, did the doctor say that fruit and yogurt is a bad combination? Is yogurt a good food? If so, what is good to eat with yogurt? Well, you can turn yogurt into lassi. So you mix it with water, and that was one of the ingredients or one of the drinks that Dr. Chaitrali said people should take. So you mix yogurt with water, and then you can add black salt, or you can add, there's things like mango lassi as well, but you can have sweet lassi or salty lassi. And you can even add some hingu into that. But I don't think it's advisable to take yogurt with fruit. Sure, it's not, Dr. Chaitrali, or
Yeah, I'll just add to it. So yogurt with fruits or milk with fruits is not a good combination to go with, because fruits have sour taste into that, and the yogurt or the milk, the combination doesn't work well there. It forms a toxic substance and it is very hard to digest. That's why the combination is not good. And yogurts, as it is, has a hot potency. They are very hot in nature. Even though we feel when we are eating it is cold, but when it goes into your digestive tract and in the digestion process, it becomes hot. So that's why having yogurt, if you are a pitta person, then I would not recommend you to have just the yogurt, but you can make a salted lassi out of it. So just take 1 tablespoon of yogurt and then whisk it well and put 1 glass of water into that and a pinch of cumin powder and a pinch of rock salt into that. So just have it along with your meal, okay? Or even yogurt, you can mix raisins with the yogurt and just have like 1 or 2 tablespoons of yogurt during the daytime. Yogurt should not be taken during the evening or for the dinners, okay? So yogurt should be taken only during the daytime, okay? Yeah.
So Agnes there says, I've no appetite. I could go the whole day without eating. When I do eat, I get burning in my stomach when I swallow food. Any advice on this? Agnes, that sounds quite serious. I mean, to have no appetite at all means your system is very much out of balance, really, in a way that there could be many different things going on there. My advice to you, Agnes, would be to have a consultation with a doctor and go through that. And or if you don't want to do that, then just start on some of the advices that you've already been given here. And I think you should just eat very, very lightly, nice, warm, nourishing foods, using the spices with small amounts and very lightly. And you shouldn't get that burning sensation in your stomach. But I'll hand that over to Dr. Chaitrali. Maybe you can recognize something in that there, Dr. Chaitrali.
Yeah, there's something wrong with your digestion, and you have to like slowly ignite that digestive fire. So the digestive fire has become very weak in your case. So you have to slowly put in like the warm food and spices and herbs. And again, if we have a consultation, I would elaborate more on that, because even sometimes drinking water also doesn't get digested if you are having like poor appetite. So that's really hard to talk about it here.
Yeah, I'd say it needs, definitely needs looking at, because it seems quite extreme, you know. So, how long after a meal is it advised to wait before walking or being more active? You could just sit for 5 minutes after a meal. Just take it easy for 5 minutes, and then it's a good idea to get up and do 100 steps or more. But just 5 minutes is fine, you know. Is it the same with honey and warm water? Is what the same? I'm not too sure. Obviously, I just missed out on something there, but you can put honey and warm water together, but not boiling water, just warm water. You can put honey into warm water. Ginger, lemon, and honey is a thing.
Honey into warm water should be fine, but not into the hot water. Okay.
Not into
So
boiling water, exactly. Yeah.
Your own body temperature, warm, not above
Mm.
that.
Yeah, so your own body temperature is about 36 degrees or something like that. So yeah, but not 90 degrees or anything like that, you know. So one of the things there that Dr. Chaitrali touched on, we are now experimenting. Well, maybe that's the wrong word, but we're now looking at doing another form of a consultation for people. We did it a while back with Dr. Naheed, and it actually worked very well. But what it is that traditionally, what we've done when we do consultations is that an initial consultation is always for an hour. It's an hour long, and the reason that we do that for an hour is we feel Ayurveda is about educating people, and a lot of people would be coming to us that know absolutely nothing about Ayurveda. They may have a friend that has got great results from it, or they may watch the video and they say, oh, I'd like to do that and see, because people are looking for natural ways of dealing with their health, you know. And then, you know, so Dr. Brennan will be sitting down, or Dr. Chaitrali will be sitting down, and you're really starting from basics: Vata, Pitta, Kapha, daily routine, seasonal routine, sleep, the importance of sleep, digestion, all of these things. But we now recognize that we have a lot of people that know all this already. We have, you know, thousands and thousands of people that have done our courses, especially that 7-lesson course. And if any of you have not done that, it's a free course, and it'll give you a great understanding of what Ayurveda is. Like, there's lessons on Vata, Pitta, Kapha, the doshas, digestion, seasonal routines, the cause of disease, the 6 stages of disease. And it really gives you a very in-depth understanding of what Ayurveda is. So I've been thinking about the idea of, for people that know all this, or have done this, or have done these webinars, an hour is not necessary for those people, because they know the basics anyway. And so what we've done is, what we did with Dr. Naheed at the time was, we came up with a 20-minute Zoom consultation. And that's what we're going to start to make available now. We're just going to see how it works out. But we're not going to be advertising this to the public or anything like that. We're only really going to be using it within our own community, for people that know quite a lot. I'm not saying you have to know everything about Ayurveda, but you know quite a lot about Ayurveda. And maybe you've had a consultation before with one of the doctors. So I'm going to share my screen just for a second. And okay, so can you all see that, Don? Can you see that? 20 minutes consultation. So the website you go to make these consultations is called Calendly. Some of you, if any of you are practitioners or anything in massage therapists, you'll be familiar with Calendly. It's a very good appointment-based system. So it's calendly.com and /Ayurveda Center. I'll put that in the chat box. I'll just copy it and I'll put it in the chat box when I come back. When you go into that, you'll be brought into this screen, a 20-minute Zoom consultation. And when you go in further, you'll be brought into another menu. And then you can see all the days in May that are highlighted. And this is a 20-minute Zoom consultation that costs €25, okay? Now, normally the doctors charge different prices for their consultations, but like normally the minimum we'd be charging for an hour consultation would be €80, and that goes up. And then sometimes the doctors do revisits for half an hour. But this is a 20-minute consultation. It's really designed for one topic. It's not designed for a whole list of 6 different things that you're concerned about. It's designed for one thing, because really 20 minutes is only enough time to do one thing. And it's also designed for people who have a fairly good understanding of Ayurveda already, and they just want to reaffirm some things, or they want to get some new ideas about things. So we have it from now until the 31st. June is not up on this system yet. So you can click on any day, and then what you'll see happening is that you'll see a calendar coming up, and you'll see the times coming up. And it's very simple. You just click on the time you want. You put in your name, your email, your telephone number. If you want to say what your consultation is about, you can put something in there. That will just give the doctor a little chance to prepare. If it's a peptic ulcer, or if it's, you know, whatever it happens to be, you can just put some detail. Or you just have something has come up and you just want to talk about it, you can put it in there, you know. The price is €25, and you just put the name in the card number. It's all powered by Stripe, and you needn't bother with the autofill link. That's it. That's for people who have the link app, you know. And then you just click schedule the event. And then what happens is that you will get an email. You'll get the Zoom link at the time of the consultation, or it might be a little bit earlier, or it might even be a few minutes later if the doctor has run over. You'll be given a Zoom link, and then exactly the same as you did tonight, you just click on that Zoom link, and the doctor, you'll be put in a waiting room, and then once the doctor is free, you'll be taken out of the waiting room, and you can start having your discussion with the doctor. So you can see there tomorrow, 12 o'clock, all those consultations are available up to the 31st. And this is just something that we're trying out. I'm going to stop the share now. I'll just copy this again so I can put it into the chat box for you. I'm going to stop the share, and I'm going to go into, there we go there. I'm going to put that in there. So you can take that out of the chat box now. You can copy it. This is just something we're experimenting with in a way. We haven't done this before. We did it once with Dr. Naheed. She was very happy with it. I asked the patients that did the consultations for some feedback. It was all very, very positive what happened, you know. So it means that you can have a consultation about a thing without spending €120 or €80 or whatever. You just spend €25. You just get to talk to an Ayurvedic doctor, and all the times will be put up there. And what we'll do is we'll rotate the doctors that are doing this. So Dr. Chaitrali is going to be doing this until the end of May. And then we have a webinar coming up on the 29th of May with Dr. Naheed. It's about the menopause. It's a free webinar, actually. And after that, she'll probably do them. And then Dr. Richvinder. I don't think Dr. Brennan will be doing them. Maybe at some time he might, but he's in, you know, he has a lot of patients anyway, so he tends to be very busy, you know. Anyway, it's there if you want to use it. It's on the system if you want to book with Dr. Chaitrali. So if there was something tonight that you just wanted to talk about, like there's only so much you can cover in a webinar, there's only so much you can cover in Q&As. If you just wanted to have a chat with the doctor about a few things just to get something right, then you can do that. You can just book that online, and that goes in there, you know. So I think we're getting very close to the end of this at this stage. It was a brilliant lecture, Dr. Chaitrali. We might even add it to our 7-lesson course, even though some of the stuff was covered in that, but it was a very good lesson. There's an awful lot of very valuable information in there for people. And what we'll do is I'll save a recording of this. I'll put it up on YouTube, and I'll send it to people who, I mean, there was a lot more people booked this webinar than we're on tonight. So a lot of people obviously weren't able to show up tonight, but they want a recording of it. So we'll send it out to everybody that booked it, you know. And yeah, that's great. It was really good, and people there have the link to these consultations. If the consultations work out, we'll continue doing them on a continual basis, because especially for our Ayurveda family, because it could just be that you feel yourself getting a cold, or something is coming on, or something happened, and you just want to speak to a doctor, but you don't really want to spend €80 just to speak to the doctor about one little thing. So you can just do that and just have this short consultation, and we'll make that available, you know. Okay, so that's great. Any last words from anybody?
Yeah, one more thing. Christine has asked about if she can do the diamond pose in varicose veins. So yeah, so just watch out. Like you can sit for few minutes and then see if there is pain when you are sitting in the diamond pose, and if it is working well, yeah, it's perfectly fine to sit even if you have varicose veins.
Yeah, and we're actually going to be doing a webinar on varicose veins. We're going to be doing some short free webinars on different one-off topics. So the next one is going to be on the menopause. I think Dr. Richvinder is putting together one on tinnitus. Dr. Brennan is doing one on enlarged prostate. Did you have one picked, Dr. Chaitrali? Or do we have to get one for you?
Yeah, maybe skincare. Yeah.
Skincare or something like that. And these will be along with our normal Q&A. We will have a Q&A on Monday night. So the people that come on our Q&A just leave Monday night free. But I'll be sending all that information out at the weekend in our weekend newsletter, you know. So we don't want to overwhelm you with too much. So thanks very much, everybody. That's great. Thank you. Thanks for coming on.
Everyone, thank you for patience listening, and thank you for a great evening. See you.
Thanks, Dr.
Bye-bye.
Brennan, for your addition, and we'll
Thank
see
you, Dr.
everybody.
Brennan, for coming over.
Yeah, and we'll see everybody again soon. Bye bye. Take care. Bye bye.